music, dance, drama, whatever it is, I think there's something about artistic practice that enables people to connect with themselves.
I suffered quite a bit of depression, and I was with the recovery team, and they were trying to get me to do something to get out a bit more. My son was quite ill at the time, and somebody told me about the acting group here, and I thought, oh, I'll come along. I don't know if I'll get into it or if they'll want me, but I'll come along anyway. And this was 3.5 years ago, and I've never left. Love it to bits.
I suffer from mental health issues myself, and the day before I came, I didn't leave the house for 24 hours. I didn't talk to anyone. I was absolutely petrified. I got here, and it's so rewarding. Even in the first session, where I was getting to know people and figure out what their abilities were, and even then I found it quite satisfying. You set tasks, and by the end of the lesson, everyone is up to a really high standard, and it's a really good feeling.
Converge I've been involved with for about 3 or 4 years now. In the early days it was on the theatrical side, which I did. I thought I was going to do it for 3 months, and I think I did it for about 2 years, 2.5 years, something like that. And this is my second year with the Communitas Choir.
Myself and Lucy, who's an occupational therapist, I'm a music student, we help run Communitas. It's a really, really good learning opportunity for us as much as it is for people with mental health issues. So it's everybody's learning at the same time. It comes from the Latin Communitas. It's all about a community environment.
It's quite interesting actually, because you see like all the people that come here, they actually grow it each week.
Oh, I love it. I just love singing. It's the best evening of the week for me.
This is warm-up exercises. It's like Eskimo and reindeer pee. Half the time, some of the funny things you've got to do will really stretch you.
Basic philosophy is that the arts makes a difference. So our students go out and learn how to use music with other people. And so sort of Communitas fits really nicely into that basic idea, yeah.
In second year, I wouldn't have imagined that I'd be running workshops, or that I'd be what I do for my job, which is running bands for like primary school kids. I categorically could not have done that if I hadn't have had all my Converge workshop training, because the skills have been invaluable.
I might possibly go into this after experiencing it. I think it's a brilliant job to have. It's really rewarding as well.
Basically, I've been working alongside of and with mostly our character. I've so been in the play Henry IV, and basically I've done a couple of exercises, I've done a couple of workshops, and it's been really enjoyable.
We'd been running groups. I think I'd done 2 workshop groups before then, and they've been jamming workshops. And we've been looking to do something a bit more cohesive or focused towards building upon. So we came up with the Introduction to Music workshop.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's been really good, and we've had quite a lot of lessons to introduce us to music, and it's a revelation really.
It was a bit more of a challenge for me, because I was used to, I could do the jamming stuff, that was fine, but actually having to teach stuff and materials was challenging. And what do you teach? There's all the music in the world.
People can express themselves through music, and coming here to Converge, it's just out of this world.
I was talking to someone today, and he doesn't really have any structure to his week. He said he struggles to get out of bed, but the day that Converge is on, he can't wait to come, because he's got something to do, he's got something to focus on, and he's really happy when he finishes, because he's produced something and he feels better about himself. And I started out doing little creative writing exercises, and now I'm at university, and I said to him that if you take little baby steps like Converge, then there's no reason that in a few years you can't be just about to start your PhD like I am.
It's been really good just to get some encouragement to actually sit and do the exercises and to actually write things. and the tutors have all been really good and have given some really useful feedback. A huge part of it to start with is just about confidence and being willing to have a go and write something and share it, and we're all definitely encouraged to do that, and I think that's the biggest step, to write something.
We geared it towards being a place where you could then, it was poetry to begin with, because that's where my expertise lie. And we geared it towards having a final session where people could perform their poetry, and then if they fancied, they could come along with us to a poetry reading which was happening in York. And quite a few of the students, in fact all of the students who were there that day, came out with us to the poetry night. And then half of the students who came with us then performed their poetry, which is a wonderful thing, because most of them had never written anything that they dared to read in front of anyone, even in a closed group before. And yet they were there in front of published poets and publishers and things in this big setting, and they were willing to, get out their work they've written with us and read it in front of everyone.
I'm training to be an occupational therapist. I'd heard about Converge through one of our lecturers, and I got the chance to join Converge for my dissertation and then write about it from my perspective, what it was like to participate in a group and what it was like to dance. So I learnt a new perspective on dance, really, things that I didn't really expect from it.
I think before I started coming to the workshops, and then before Out of Character began, I suppose suffering from anxiety, self-confidence, things like that were definitely an issue. But coming along and performing as such, even if it's just for the rest of the group on a Thursday night in workshops, and then obviously to the general public, has been a massive confidence boost.
Well, I was on a rehab board, mental health rehab board, about 2 or 3 years ago, and my occupational therapist came to me and said that they were looking for people to join a drama group for people who'd used mental health services, and was I interested? And I said I was very interested, and came down.
Came to Converge about 4 years ago, 3-4 years ago, when I was poorly at the time, and loved it, enjoyed it, and kept going. And it's been a lot of things have happened because of it, really. I'm now on the theatre course, the degree here, which I never dreamed I would ever do. I'd sort of given up on higher education in my life.
Started off doing it as something to do with not much time, and it's so much more than that now.
It's made me sort of like just realise that there's more to do in life than hiding away in your flat at home,
Definitely worth doing. Not just the obviously the theatre course, but there's the dance course, all the music courses. I think for whatever reasons you choose to do it, I mean there must be tons of positives that you can get from it. Everybody will obviously be sort of unique to them, but it definitely help.
Do it. Do it, because you never know what. I mean, it might not have. Obviously, like Christian said, it'll have a different, unique aspect for each person, but you get something out of it.
I think it should be less about what everyone perceives as mental health as being this big taboo, and really try to get an experience with it, first-hand experience.
I just find it quite refreshing to go on a course where there's no preconceived ideas about you, and you're not treated as if you're in an institution or anything like that, and it's all quite relaxed and allows you to express yourself without being judged.
The process of the course, particularly when I've been teaching poetry, I found that we've been able to unlock those little inhibitions that they've got, those little things that have always, the little nagging things they've got on their shoulders that are telling them, no, you can't do this, or no, that's not good enough. We found that we've been able to eradicate those to a point where people are willing to get up in front of a group of people and, unleash their poetry.
It's helped me so much because I've gained confidence, so much confidence in it, in myself as a person. It's pushed me to learn my lines and to become better each time. And I don't know what I'd do without it, really. I look forward to every week, and each week is something different and a challenge. And the people I work with are fantastic. And my director is pretty good too.
We hope that everyone who's been involved this semester and the previous semester is going to submit, and will actually have a publication so they can see their own work in print. for that final sort of, yeah, I'm a published writer. Like, I can do this, because there's no reason they can't. So I feel it's a way to sort of knock down those walls. Those things have been set up for people that tell people that for whatever reason, like, you know, I can't do this, that we can knock down those walls and show them at the end of it, you can. And in the wider community of the York's writing community, which is quite a thriving scene, we found that most of them have been very much accepted. The ones who've been willing to get out there and read their work publicly have been fully accepted by the local York scene, and many of them are now involved with the York Literature Festival.
I never thought I'd do anything at St John's University, and I used to sit outside the day centre waiting to go in, and I used to look at all the students, and I wished that I was one of them, and I didn't realise that I'd be going there a year or two later.
I think Converge is a phenomenal organisation because it means that people who are ostracised by society, people with mental health issues, because it is a problem and people are seen as different and out of society, can come and feel welcome and feel that they're achieving something and really have something to show for it at the end of the lessons.